is a lady, my colleague. Her name is JEDIDAH. Semenivo? JEDIDAH. She's one of our psychologists and she's going to take it over. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you all? Fine. Expected to see some smiles. Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Where I come from, now the ladies move. They get another name. True? Yeah, I don't know in your culture whether there's something like that. That now you've sort of graduated to another level. And with that, we can't take it for granted, yes? So I expect to see some smiles. Yeah, I know it's also emotional. It's an emotional time. True? I'm hoping we can have an interactive session, yes? Yeah, it's emotional. And not only for now your men, I have to be careful now, not only about your men, but even for you as parents, as grandparents, you know, as uncles, as aunties. It's a new season, you know, and so let us embrace it and be happy that at least we are here to see this and to witness it, yeah? So, parenting, how is it so far? How is parenting so far? As I said, it's a very interactive session. How is parenting so far? Does it end? No, no. Just like a quote by 𝐀𝐧𝐲 that says, parenting is a lifetime job and does not stop when a child grows up. Can we identify with that? Yes, we can, yeah? And then there's no such thing as a perfect parent. So just be real. Yes? Even when we go through the parenting classes, navigators and all that, yes, it helps us. I'm not trying to downplay. It really helps us because our work is just to equip. But at the end of the day, you find yourselves, you know, their homes are different. Children are different. You can have two children, same dad, same mom, but they are very different. Yeah? Their personalities are different. Doesn't mean that you failed in one or another. No. They're just different. It's only that for us as parents, and that's what our Peter was telling us, it's important for us as parents to be very self-aware and very alert so that you can be able to observe some of these things, right? And know how do we help our children, because we have all agreed, parenting does not stop. I can even see grandparents here. They never stop parenting their children and also being there for their grandchildren. So, my father didn't tell me how to live, and in this case I'll say both my parents didn't tell me how to live. They lived, and they let me watch them do it. Does that make sense? Does it make sense, parents? Yes. They don't need to tell us. We don't need to tell them. They just observe. What are we doing? Yeah. Then from there they can be able to now follow suit. So when it comes to parenting, yeah, it's a process that aims to improve and support all aspects of a child as they grow up. Because our main thing, especially in this day and age, is to bring up children who are resilient. You know, we cannot be with them 24/7. True? And even when they're with us, they can pull some stunts and you wonder, Allah, you did this in my house. You know, just full disclosure, my mom found out something I did. 𝗕𝐴𝐴, I was already married and I was expecting, as in I'd already moved out of the house. I was in someone else's house, in other words, our house. But my mom found out something that I did in my campus days. And she called me and she really told me off. And I tried telling her, Mom, I'm already married. I'm no longer under your roof. She said, I don't care. You're still my child, you're still my daughter. I expected more from you. So that shows you that at the end of the day, things can happen still under your parents' house or under your house. The children are pulling some stunts, but for us what we can do is equip ourselves. That's what Frida was talking about, the essays. Be aware, be alert, so that we can now be able to equip our children. Because if we don't deal with some of the issues that we went through, it affects our parenting. Yeah? I'm sure you've learned about the essays. Yes? Have you learned about the essays? What Frida has said? Yes? The childhood experiences, the trauma. So if we don't deal with them, what happens? We end up projecting them to our children. So sometimes if you came from a very strict family, yeah, you end up either being more strict, or you just be saying, hey, I don't want my children to go through what I went through. And that leads me to, there are four major types when it comes to parenting, the parenting styles. Yeah? And the parenting styles are just ways that we interact with our children in terms of the emotional warmth and also control. And with the high control, low control, how do we support our children? So there are four types. There's the authoritarian. Yeah? Now the authoritarian is the one that my rules or the highway. No flexing, no moving, no changing boundaries. It's either this way, and then you're not supportive. So the child grows up in that kind of environment. And yes, for them, any failure is rewarded by a punishment. So they are supposed to be perfectionists, do things, and all that. Does the child get affected in their adulthood? How they relate with others? Yes. Then there's the authoritative. So the other was authoritarian. I know sometimes you confuse the two. There's the authoritarian, and the authoritarian is the one, my way, highway, no changing. Yeah? Authoritative, on the other hand, is still firm, but you're supportive. Yes, these are the rules, but I'm able to listen to you. I'm explaining to you, why are we doing 1, 2, 3? So you're still supportive, but it does not mean that now you shake, change your boundaries, your rules. No, but you are able to support your children as they grow. Then there's a permissive. Permissive is where parents end up, and we are seeing a lot of this. We end up being more of friends than parents. Please note, it's not bad being a friend to your child. It is not bad. But you have to remember, one of you is the parent. And what is happening? Roles are changing. And what we are calling even enmeshment in the families. That now the children are controlling. You know, today I don't want to eat ugali. Okay, Daddy, Baba, what do you want to eat today? Was that happening when you were growing up?
No.
You know, but are we allowing this to happen? I know it's not happening in your homes, but we've seen in other homes. Yes, we've seen in other homes, yes? While the children are the ones who are controlling. Today, just feel like KFC. But you don't have money. But Mama, I want, okay. There you go. What are they called? 𝗕𝐴. What is it? Fuliza. All those things. Why? Because you want to please your child. But what are you doing to this child? What are you doing to this child? You're spoiling. I don't like labeling, but yes. Yeah. And you're enabling some of these behaviors. True? So the child grows up being entitled. Have you seen some entitled children? Very entitled. And that's the problem. So again, and I cannot remember what Frida, I'm just trying to connect what Frida was talking about, the essays. Some of our experiences affect how we do things, how we parent. So because I grew up in a very authoritarian, yeah, in terms of strict, I don't want my children to feel the way I was feeling. So I become permissive. Instead of trying to borrow, because I know we can't, things have changed, and we have to understand that things are different now, yeah? So instead of understanding that things have changed, I can still be firm, I can still be a friend, and I can still support. So are you seeing all those hats? And I want us to understand that things have changed, and we have to accept. Yeah, change really is the only concept that really has to change, right? Yeah, and uninvolved or neglected parenting, where now, hey, Kanairo, it's hard, life is hard, simple. Mambo of hustling here and there. So in the process, as you're busy looking for other sources of income, what is happening at home? Who is bringing up our children? Exactly, the households. Are the households well equipped the way you want your children to be brought up? No. Please note, we are not underestimating or undermining the work that the households or the nannies are doing. No, we appreciate, but let them not replace your role as a parent. And that's why we are having a lot of issues and absenteeism in terms of the children talking about an absent father or an absent mother. You know, earlier on, and as part of for what we see, even as the clients come in, a long time ago it was easier to have absenteeism in fathers, but now we also see absenteeism in mothers. Yeah, and you can see now what happens, right? So those are the four main types. But now again, remember, when it comes to this field we are in, things keep on changing, and we have to keep on adapting to what is happening. And in the process now we also have additional styles, parenting styles. So we have the helicopter and hummingbird. I'm sure some of you have heard that. Helicopter is where you just hover around your child. Everything, you're on their space, 24/7, whatever they do, hovering, yes? So that is helicopter parenting. Hummingbird is where you're there, but you're letting them grow. Let them make their mistakes so that they can learn. Because we are not with them 24/7, remember? And they are growing. They will start their lives. Some of them are, like I have my children who just keep on saying, this country is too corrupt, I'm not going to stay in this country, I'm moving out, I'm going to get a place in States or Europe, you know? So for them, they're thinking global. I'm not following them there. But it depends with how have I equipped that child to be resilient, that wherever they are, that they'll be strong enough. Yes? Now, coming now closer to this, where we are at, the season we are in, there's something new that's now called reflective parenting. And this is such a new thing, and it is so hard. But for us to get to where we want with our children, we have to start adapting to it. So just as the name suggests, reflective. Thoughts? Reflective, what does it mean? Reflective? Anyone? Reflective. Yeah? But you're sort of thinking through. And this is where it is more about responding vis-a-vis reacting. Yeah? In our profession, we really insist on people responding. Reacting is when you act out of emotions. You know, you punish a child because you are angry. Vis-a-vis responding, first deal with your emotions, anger, and then now you can punish, or in a simpler way, discipline the children. Yes? So you sort of think through. And with the reflective parenting, it's instead of just looking at the action, you start also thinking, what made this child do what they are doing? What was their thinking process, their thought process? What is their motive? What was their motive? Is that easy? Is that easy? No, it's not easy. But the thing is this, because we end up dealing with the action that has been done, and we forget maybe there's a cry for help. You know, remember, these children are not the way we grew up. Yes? As we are walking miles to go to school, for the here, school bus, drivers, you're the ones dropping, picking, all that, yeah? But the thing is, for some of them, you can see a child is rebellious. That's what you term. Remember, we are careful before labeling. But you might see as if a child is rebellious. But maybe the child is just trying to communicate something. Why is this child doing 1, 2, 3? And now you come to the source so that you can be able to talk about the source of it. Yes, I'm just trying to summarize. It's a big topic, if I can put it that way. But I hope you understand. We're just giving you tidbits but the main thing, the reflective parenting. If we can be able to adjust from the authoritarian, from the permissive, from the neglect parenting, and now start shifting to reflective parenting, you'll be able to see that these children now, or rather, these men you're taking home now, for us, how we look at it is that because of the exposure these children have, most of the children, the men who are here, they are 14, 13, 10, yes? When you look at yourself when you're a 14-year-old, were you reasoning the same way they are reasoning now? Sorry? Remember we are interacting? Are they reasoning the same way we were reasoning? No. They are way ahead. And now how we do it is, you look at the age, yeah? If it's 10, then you add 5 more years. So if it's a 10-year-old, look at the child as a 15-year-old. It's only that this child is in a 10-year-old body. So as a 14, you are dealing with almost like a 19-year-old. It's only that they're in a 14-year-old, 14 plus 5 years, my maths, yes. It's only that they're in a 14-year-old body. So that now you can start seeing the exposure that they are getting and how you relate with them and how you talk with them, right? I know my time is almost up, but the benefits, I think let me talk about the modern parenting challenges. Yes? Technology. When we were growing up, when we were going to places, so we were asking for Wi-Fi. Did you even know what Wi-Fi was? These children, whenever you tell them that we are going to so and so's, what is the first question? Is there Wi-Fi? Yes? To them, it's a big thing. And for us, we may not understand because we did grow up in that era, right? But we have to understand and accept so that we can be able to relate and understand they are in the era of technology. Cultural and lifestyle challenges, and this is where we have many emerging issues. We'll talk a bit about some of them. Then there's also information overload. There's too much. There's too much information happening. Here we are at Allsmiles, we are telling you this. You go to another place, again, parenting class, another thing. It is too much and you can be overwhelmed. So we have to know how do we balance this so that we don't take everything at a go. Start getting things in small doses. So parenting in digital age, I'll just summarize it because it is quite big. For parents, when it comes to the digital space, we are tourists. You know, we don't stay there. For our children, they camp there. They are natives. This is our home. This is our country in this digital. So it's good to notice that. Secondly, for us, we enter there when it is required. True? When I need to. It's only that now we are now shifting. We are, you know, TikTok, IG, 𝐀𝐧𝐲 yeah? But at the end, for the children, they live in it. Yeah? For us, tech, we use it as a tool. Right? For them, it is home. Yeah? For us, we use tech for get a job done. True? For them, this is where they build relationships. And you can see a lot of that's why these children or these men, small talk, it's not easy. But give them the gadgets. They can be where Frida and John is, next to each other, but they'll not know how to talk to each other. But with their gadgets, they will communicate easily because they are hiding behind the screen. Yeah? So those are some of the things that we have to accept. So it's accepting that this is happening, accepting the gap, catch them in terms of just ask them, get involved in their space, right? Another emerging issue that it's also a big topic, but it's just good to bring it out. LGBTQ. There's silence. There's silence. Is it happening or not? It is. Is it big? Do our children know about it? For us, when did we know about it? Did we know about it at their age? No. Up to date, I can't even speak to my mom about such things. But here I am expected to talk to my children or my man about these things. So again, what does that mean? We have to also learn. We have to learn. Remember what we're saying? Now we have to get into their spaces because they can't relate with your space. We have to get into their spaces, learn about it. Then it will be easier now to guide about it. LGBTQ, as you know, it started as LGBT. Can you remember? It started as LGBT, it went to LGBTQ, then it is now LGBTIQA and plus. Can we catch up? No, we can't. But it's good to just learn slowly by slowly. So just in a nutshell, at least we know what L stands for, lesbians. That one we know. LG, gay, we know. So lesbians, girl, girl, gay, boy, boy, LGBT, T, transgender, LGBT, yes, transgender, yes. And this is where the gender that you are in is not the same gender you are born as, okay? So you changed along the way, yeah? Then we have B, bisexual, where you are attracted to both men and female. Then there is queer. Queer. It's queer even the way it sounds. It's just queer, yeah? But for you to remember what queer is, it's just that they're questioning. They are questioning their gender. For us at Allsmiles, we are very careful that even when we take your biodata, we ask what gender are you affiliated to? What pronouns? Because we have people tell you, use the he, she, them, they, you know, all those. And we have to respect that. There's this challenge that is going on TikTok. We listen. Good. You know it. Yes? And that's what we do at Allsmiles. We are going to listen. We are not going to judge. So we hear a lot of these things. So queer is just that thing of their questioning. They are not so sure where they are at. And my colleague will follow that up. There's the intersex. And for intersex, please take note. Intersex is where they've been born with both female and male organs. So, and I know that's why there's a campaign of they want to be pulled out from this LGBT, because the LGBTQ, they believe it's a choice. For them, it's not a choice. That's how they were born. But unfortunately, you know our culture, when a child is born like that, amerogwa. You know, you are disowned. So where did they get comfort? In this body of LGBTQ, okay? Then asexual. Remember the LGBTIQA? So the A is asexual, yeah? And asexual, they are not attracted to anything. They're not attracted to men, not attracted, no sexual, you know, attraction to anyone, okay? Then there's also, remember there's a plus. That's why I'm saying we can't keep up. There's a pansexual. Pansexual is I'm open to anyone, whether bi, whether intersex, whether transgender, wote, karibu. Yes? And that is the pansexual. Yes? Are they there? Are they there? Or is it just a name? Sorry to bring this home, but yes, they are there. Yes, they are there. And it's just something for us to know, so that even as we are talking to our men and our other children in our households, we at least we are aware, okay? And then you also know that we have the cross-dressers. I can see the looks. You have an idea? Yes? And just to let you know, there's a school here in Nairobi. I won't name the school. It's a boys' school. And during one of these dances, you know, the proms and all that, where now you come in dressed, you know, home clothes. Okay, not most, but some of them came dressed as women, makeup, all that. When you're talking of high school, which ages are those? Using the 844 system. Yes, 14 to 18. Are those still minors?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are still minors because they are under 18. Are these people in our homes?
Yes.
They are in our homes. So they can come out smartly dressed, but in that raggy where you see them just walking like this, they have their stuff, okay? Then obviously we have the drag queens. This one they do it more for entertainment, and this is both the gay and the straight as well, where they just dress up, right? And then there's the gender fluid. Have you heard of gender fluid?
Yeah.
Parents, have you heard of gender fluid? Yeah. Nini ni sura zimechange. Am I scaring you? It's just what is there, right? And remember, for us, our work is just equipping you so that you can know. For gender fluid, as the name suggests, they are fluid. Today I feel like a man. Tomorrow I feel like a woman. The other day I feel like transgender, as in it is fluid. Okay? So yeah, so that's it regarding now some of this parenting thing, and that's what we're saying about emerging issues. Remember we talked about some of the challenges. Is the technology, is the social, is the lifestyle, and those are some, and there are many, many challenges. So I think with that, I'll request now my colleague to come and follow up just with your teens. But just as she comes, we're talking about Gen Z, and Frida talked about Gen Z. And we are still trying to understand, yes, what is happening. But remember, at the end of the day, how we look at things, they look at it differently. For us, we do things out of rules. For them, it's more about relationships. You force children to go to church just because you're a Christian. You think your children are Christians? No. That is a rule you're giving them. For them, forget it. Spaces versus experience. For us, we are busy building plots and houses because we want to leave an inheritance for them. For them, they want not to go to Jamaica. Yeah, for them, they don't believe in staying in one place for a long time. And that's why you can see even with jobs. When our parents were staying in jobs for 30 years or so, for them, nothing. They don't know that, right? So that's why for you, you're building stability. For them, it's more about experiences. And then also fixed mind for us, it's like this. For them, it's exposed minds. So it's good for us to try. It is hard, yes, but it is doable. Step by step, let's get into their spaces so that you can be able to understand, have a discussion, and see how we can be able to guide them. Okay? So I'll kindly request my colleague Jessica to come. Oh, as I conclude, one thing that I like using is the word care. Care, C-A-R-E. Yeah? C for curiosity. Be curious enough to know what is happening in your child's life. Yeah? A, availability. Be there for them. Avail yourself. And don't just be present. Be emotionally present. Be there. Yeah? R, respect. These children value respect. They need to be seen as we are also adults. We have a voice. Gone are the days for us where we are there to be seen and not to be heard. For them, they want to be seen and they want to be. So you have to, again, to teach them, it's a two-way. Then E, encourage them. They are getting a lot of discouragements along the way. They are being bullied and all that. Be that voice that is going to encourage them. Thank you.